We're really pleased to have Mitch here. He is the founder and CEO of a company called MFG.com, which is a global sourcing marketplace for manufacturers, very successful company. He is an expert in all these topics of global manufacturing and trade, globalization, outsourcing, and also, though, has a great background in how to turn an entrepreneurial venture into a global business. He also is active as an angel investor and many more things. Mitch is a frequent speaker at a number of technology conferences and has done presentations to at Harvard Business School, Kellogg School of Business, Wharton, a number of others. He's also a regular contributor to NBC's The Street and a number of other broadcast media. He has been a regional winner of an Ernst & Young award for entrepreneurship. He co-founded an angel investing group and consulting group called Shot Put Ventures. But he has, more than that, a real colorful personal history. Without belaboring this anymore, though, I would really like to for us to introduce Mitch Free to talk about this.
What I thought I'd do was sort of walk you through, my story of entrepreneurship and the trials and the tribulations and the things that I faced. And I think there will be very interesting lessons in that, because as you guys well know, everyone's entrepreneurial story and challenges and decision points and the things that you need to do for your business and your career are going to be different. It doesn't translate. If you could write a manual and everyone could follow it, everyone would be an entrepreneur and we'd be screwed as a society, right? Because there wouldn't be any other folks. So there is no prescription, as you guys well know that. So I'm going to just talk about what worked for me and how I faced and did some creative things by dumb luck. So I'll start off by saying, I grew up here in Georgia in Fayette County, and thought I wanted to be an engineer, and I went to Southern Tech for 6 weeks, and that was about all I could handle. And I said, cool, I can do that. And plus, it paid a lot more than I was making working, for $10 an hour at the other place I was working. And so I took the job at the airline, and we set up cells, CELLS, cells in the U.S., Europe, and Asia, where we could rapidly reproduce parts for airplanes, get the airplanes in the air quickly. And then I went to Toulouse, France from there, where we bought some Airbuses. Northwest sent me to the factory in Toulouse to walk down the line with the first few Airbuses to make sure that they were correct. And then Singapore with some modifications to some 747s. Next thing you know, I'm running the technical operations of Northwest Airlines. I'm running an $800 million a year budget. And I opened the package up that they had sent, and I realized it was a pretty interesting opportunity. That it was two different producers of the software. One was a company called CAD Key and the other one called Gibbs Cam. And to combine, they had about 2,000 customers across the South, from the Carolinas to Texas, that were using their software. And those 2,000 customers were paying $1,000 a year for software maintenance, so $2 million a year. And they were offering a 50% margin to the dealer. So it didn't take me long to figure out that math, that's $1 million a year to run a business off of. And so I'm calculating, okay, I pay myself, I do an office, I hire a couple of people, I support these customers. This might be interesting. I never really thought about being an entrepreneur, starting my own business. I better change that. All right. So, and then it was a moment that made a lot of sense. The guys that were designing products would say, "We've designed this really cool widget. Do you know anyone that can make it?" Yeah. I visit manufacturing customers. We've got excess capacity. Do you know anyone that needs anything made? I introduced it to my customers and of the software business. And I didn't think that this was going to be a business. I thought it was going to be an enhancement to my reseller of the CAD business. Well, people started using it like crazy. It started just taking off. But Bill said, do you think if they've done that quick, you must really be on to something, right? So we pushed back and said, no, we're not going to do that, but we'll let you invest if you want, right? So they did. But what I wound up doing was I wound up trading them 20% equity for $500,000 in pre-purchased subscriptions to the service. So the business model, basically, the buy side, people that want to buy things, that they use it for free, and then the people that want to get the manufacturing business pay a subscription fee that at the time was about $1,000 a year. So they pre-purchased 500 subscriptions that they went then and sold and got their money back, and it gave me $500,000 to jumpstart the business. So then the rest of the funding to continue to build the business, to add server capacity, which was expensive at the time, to add developers, I did it the old-fashioned way. I cashed in the 401k, I mortgaged the house to the hilt, I had 8 credit cards going, totally leveraged, right, and scared. So that time period, as you guys well remember, through 2001, 2, 3, were tough periods for anything internet. I mean, everybody they weren't sure the internet was going to catch on, and that people got burned, lost a lot of money. So I needed more money. So by 2004, we're profitable in a subscription-based model. All the competition had imploded. They've gone away. I'm like the only one left standing. I mean, we just done it, the little engine that could. So then, early 2005, we become the prettiest girl at the party. I got strategic acquirers coming from everywhere. I've got private equity firms, people saying, my God, you've built a marketplace for the world's manufacturing industry that's the dominant player, that has critical mass, and manufacturing is the largest industry in the world. If you look around you, what's not manufactured? I mean, everything from the clothes to the food to the cars we're driving, everything is manufactured. And if you could be the marketplace that helps facilitate the world's manufacturing industry, that's a pretty big deal. So I get a call from this guy and he says, hey, my name's Jeff Bezos. I started Amazon.com. Yeah, I know who you are, right? So he's like, the Pope of the Internet's calling, you know? And he said, I'm just really intrigued by your business and I'd love to meet you. So I go to Seattle. It's not really fair. And he said, I love the way you think. What do you want to do for them? So we wound up chipping in $2 million that he got no stock for, nothing for, just for me to hand out to my employees. It was one of the greatest nights of my life. Party, we had Buckhead, they had no idea. And we did it by a very interesting system that we just took the employees and how many months each one had been there and added up the total months and divided it by $2 million and handed it out. So there were, single mothers that, in the accounting department that got checks for, $200,000 that just fainted in the floor. So that was one of the greatest nights of my life to be able to do that. In that phone call, I had said to Jeff, if I decide that I wish I would have sold the whole company for $25 million, I want to put the rest of the company to you. And he said, no problem, but I want the call. Right? And he said, but just think about that a little bit. He went somewhere and he said, just think about that, because I think that would be a really stupid move on your part. But if you want that, I'll give it to you, because I said I would. So I came back and I said, screw it, let's forget the call. So we got rid of the put and call, and we did the deal exactly as he said. It was quick. We put on note paper, a piece of legal paper, we signed it, and it was one of the easiest deals you could ever imagine. So we operate in 11 languages today. The offices are Atlanta, Paris, Geneva, Munich, Shanghai, and Bangalore. We process about $3 billion a month in manufacturing transactions through the service. And it's like a snowball rolling downhill. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger because of that critical mass. All that matters when you get ready to exit. And I've had a few iterations because I didn't know where I was going, right? Hindsight's 20/20. So just thinking about where you want to end up when you start the business. But I would say that's a very hard one to do because you have no idea where the business is going to go. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.